The key challenge of decentralization in North Macedonia was that decentralization focused on the local level, so on municipalities. There are regions in North Macedonia, but they are not very powerful. They are mainly exist for administrative purposes. So the municipalities became quite powerful actors responsible for issues such as language policy, culture, to some extent schooling, local economic development, to some extent core provisions like healthcare, sanitation, etc. So they became very important government bodies in the wake of the Ohrid Framework Agreement. When the framework agreement was implemented, when decentralization was implemented, however, a key issue, of course, was the financial dimension. Everybody agreed we want strong municipalities, but nobody really wanted to pay for that. So making sure that the money comes from the central government to the municipalities remains a big challenge until today. Another key challenge is that the municipalities themselves are quite different, not only in their ethnic composition, but also, for example, in their economic power. Some municipalities, for example, around the city of Skopje, but also in the Ohrid lake region, are quite powerful, are quite rich because they get a lot of tax income, they get a lot of income from tourism, they have good economic basis, while others in the more rural areas of the country are relatively poor. Therefore, they rely more on government grants, which in turn means the government can easily interfere in their autonomy and in their interest sphere. A final challenge, of course, is that decentralization in North Macedonia was implemented along ethnic lines. So even though we don't see strong regions, we clearly see these are Albanian municipalities, these are Macedonian municipalities, and this is a Turkish municipality. So that's very clear. And this has created a form of ethnic homogeneity, but also ethnic distancing. So different groups are less interactive outside of the city of Skopje with each other, because a lot of things are happening at the local municipality level, and you don't really have to go and speak to people from the other groups that live maybe 2 or 3 municipalities away. So that too has become an issue, that decentralization has kind of strengthened group coherence, but to some extent limited the interactions of groups as well. But Macedonia is often hailed also for the success of decentralization and how it has still remained relatively flexible, how it has learned some of the lessons from other power sharing and decentralized systems such as Bosnia. So therefore, there are many good things about decentralization in Macedonia. I think the key lesson for Syria, I would say, is twofold. I would say we can learn from North Macedonia that decentralization can make a contribution to conflict resolution, it can make a contribution to ethnic equality, and it can make a contribution to post-war recovery, reintegrating the country, building a functioning democracy. But at the same time, decentralization comes with challenges. It comes with functional challenges of how to implement it. It comes with economic and fiscal challenges of how to pay for it. And it comes with very practical challenges of how do the different groups interact with the local government? Does it increase ethnic distance? Does it potentially lead to more or less segregated communities in the country? And I think Syria needs to be aware of these challenges, and Syria also needs to be aware of the importance of being flexible, being able to adapt decentralization and power sharing over time. Because what will be implemented after a war might not be the priority anymore 5 or 10 years into the peacetime.